Hello and welcome to Suddenly Single, the new and hilarious dating podcast.
Where we're going to get our celeb mates to tell us about their dating disasters.
We're also going to have a few experts in the studio to tell us where you and I are going wrong.
Come on, and I don't think you've got enough makeup on.
I need the sun, I need inspiration, I just want to give.
On this episode of Suddenly Single, we've got a nation's favourite, really. He's been on Gogglebox for many, many years with his husband that he's now divorcing, but he's also putting himself through the grill on some other show.
Yeah, he got us through COVID, 12 years of him and Daniel on the sofa, and now, in the middle of a divorce, he's putting himself on Celebs Go Dating, which I think is brave, because I've been watching it.
Let's find out what he has to say.
I just want to give. Just want to get out of here.
Hi, we're here with Stephen from Gogglebox today. I'm sure most of you will know him from that show. But the show that I know you from at the moment is Celebs Go Dating. I'm absolutely loving every episode. And our podcast is called Suddenly Single, which happened to you.
Yeah.
Okay. So we wanted to ask you in to talk to you about how it's going. Well, we know how some of it's going because we're watching it on television. But how has it been for you splitting up again in your... Because can I just ask, do you mind saying, are you in your 50s now?
I am, yeah, 53.
Yeah, exactly. So we're all of a similar age, and being out there again at that age, it's like, seriously, is it me? Well, am I going to do this again? Really, am I going to do this again? So we thought you'd be a brilliant person to come in.
Well, luckily for me, I haven't started on any of the apps or anything like that because I was offered Celebs Go Dating. So I thought, what a perfect way to get back into the dating world. So I've had it easy, really. I've had them all lined up for me.
But you're used to spending a bit of time in front of the camera in your home or that kind of setup. And then you've gone into dating on camera. Is there any big differences you thought, actually, this is completely different from that show to this show? I've really got to show a different side of me. Or is it similar?
Well, the camera thing never bothered me while I was doing the dates because I was, like you say, I was used to it at home, just having a camera pointed at us constantly when we were eating, drinking, farting, whatever.
So is it one night a week that they film you, or is it every night?
It was 3 nights a week to start with.
It's quite intrusive though in your own home.
It is. And all bringing all the kit in.
Yeah.
Skirting boards took a right bit. The dating, obviously, I've been out of the dating game now for 12 years. Yeah. So very rusty. Very rusty. And I have got, I will admit, a kind of 1970s Benny Hill kind of sense of humour, which doesn't go down well with the under 30s.
Yeah, there's an age divide for sure.
Yeah. So I've had to tune that in. I've learned from being on Celebs Go Dating that I may be a little bit archaic.
Is it archaic or they're a bit reticent to join the party?
Yeah, maybe. Well, I just think there's a lot of people out there that are ready to be offended and ready to cancel you. So I was quite aware of that. Not straight away.
But maybe not necessarily when you're dating.
Yeah.
It's like you're dating there to meet somebody and have a good time and have a good night. It might not be the love of your life, but we've had a couple of pints or a couple of glasses of champagne and it should be fun, shouldn't it?
Yeah. Well, I'm up front. I'm straight to the point and I asked maybe probing questions. Yeah. And a couple of my dates were like, I feel attacked, I feel offended. Yeah.
But then,
Yeah.
I
So I was
mean,
like, taxi!
At least you're making an effort to chat and ask and how are you? Because otherwise everybody's on their perches just going, I'm not sure about that, and then step back from saying anything.
Yeah, it's true. But going back to that generational thing, since being on the show and I met Ella Morgan.
Yes.
And I've got friends that are older than me, 63 and into their 70s, that don't kind of get that whole trans thing. Yeah. And...
so for anyone who doesn't know who Ella is, she's transgender and she's beautiful.
Yeah, she's stunning.
Absolutely stunning.
And she's very, very naughty and I love her.
And one of the participants on the show.
Yeah. So, and I haven't got any other friends that are trans. So this is me getting to know Ella for the first time and getting educated by her. So I now feel like I can go back to my old friends that don't get a lot more of it than I didn't get at the start and kind of, I guess we just need to understand each other a bit more and be less judgmental.
Yeah, planet-wide, right?
Yeah.
Are you, you've very much through the filming of Celebs Go Dating, has your mentality changed? You know, assume that, you know, you've embraced this in the right way, that you might meet somebody. So the first couple of dates, you're going out cleaning your teeth and squirting some aftershave on and hoping that this is the one. Or you're now going out and putting holy water over outside and some garlic and going, okay, you talk first. Has it started to change how you're...
No. I did kind of filter it a little bit towards the end, but I did always say to the agents, you'll know when I meet someone that I'm keen on, because I'll go really quiet. If I don't really fancy you from the off, then I'm kind of probably going to be a little bit flippant, and that's what I was.
You, at some point, I presume, unless you get whisked off in the final episode of Celebs and somebody throws you over their shoulder and takes you off, are going to end up dating outside of that show. Will you go on the apps?
I personally won't. No.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's maybe that generational thing. It weren't about when I was dating 12 years ago. I
Do
think
you
there was
feel
a few.
you could still go to a bar and meet somebody?
Well, I always kind of, like all of us, I guess, dreamed of meeting someone quite organically. Like, you know, going through a revolving door, holding some books, you drop the book, someone else you pick them up and you look into each other's eyes and you're like... But that's exactly how I met my soon-to-be ex-husband. We were both in a queue for parking permits in Hove Town Hall, and I kind of clocked him in the queue and was kind of making eyes at each other. And, we got talking and that was that.
What is it about gay guys that have that... They don't just secure the meat; they deliver on it going to the next level. Whereas,
because we're all horny buggers.
Is that what it? But it must be that, because the amount of times that I've seen a girl think, "Oh, she looked, and I don't know if to say something," and vice versa. You might have seen a guy, and you think he looked over, but we don't seal the deal.
Yeah, we do. We do, don't we? Yeah.
So in the future, you're just going to hang out at a Hove parking department and hope you're going to bump into somebody else?
Yeah, or just, I just want it to happen naturally,
Yeah.
So, like, I'm going trekking, going up to do Helvellyn, is it? Helvellyn, in the lakes, and then drop down there, go up Scarfield Pike. So
You're quite fit then. Is that your idea of a good time?
I've just recently lost 2.5 stone.
Really?
Yeah.
What was that about? Was that deliberately because you knew you were going out on the dating arena? Or?
Well, no, I broke my ankle on dancing on ice, and then I was
but then you usually put weight on after something like that. You can't move.
Well, that's where I put it on, because I was at home for 3-4 months, not moving.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so I got to the 9th day of training. So I never even made the live show.
But you broke...
Yeah, I broke the ankle.
Ow.
I attempted a jump.
Yeah.
And in mid-air, I was meant to turn and then face the other way when I landed. Right leg went forward, left leg went back, and I landed on the left leg. And I picked up my leg and my ankle just went...
Oh,
yeah.
God.
So, I've got 2 metal pins and 2 plates either side.
Oh, my God.
And you never even got on the show?
Never even got on the show, no.
So that's where the weight came on afterwards.
Yeah.
And then how did you get rid of it then?
So once the leg was healed, I was back at the gym and out running, and I was taking a certain meal replacement shake.
But we keep talking about when you come out into dating after many years in a relationship or a partnership, or come out of not doing anything and you decide, it's quite frightening because it's the first time you're going out there and meeting, you're putting yourself up to be judged.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you find that?
Yeah, and you're trying to now resell yourself.
Yeah.
You know, and you've got, I mean, my breakup with my husband's been really amazing, and we're still the best of friends.
Really?
Yeah, but you still come out of that with a little bit of baggage. It didn't work, and that's, you know, that is upsetting. So that's going to take a little bit longer to get over, I guess. So I guess you go then back out into the dating scene, and you've got a few vulnerabilities, you know, and you're trying to resell yourself and rebrand yourself, you know.
Yeah.
So it's tough. It's tough.
Do you have any red flags? I mean,
nasal hair.
That's quite a big
I've heard that one
one.
before.
So that's a goodie.
Nasal hair is a no.
Yeah. No, I guess, well, I don't know. There's so much terminology around now. Like all this love bombing and all. I didn't know what that was. I do now.
Yeah.
But when I meet someone for the first time or early days, I am quite gifty. And a friend of mine, Ella, actually said, "Are you sure you're not love bombing them?" But I didn't even know what love bombing was.
Too keen.
Too keen, yeah. Well, that's just part of my... I've always been like it. I've been very gifty and treat people and support people. I like it. I kind of get a kick from that. So I guess I'm not love bombing. That's part of my love language.
So if you meet someone, you very quickly send them flowers or...
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
How do you navigate the split of your relationship, your marriage, and still stay friends and have presumably mutual friends in common, but then want to embark on being a single guy and meeting people, and for him to do that as well?
Wow. I think me and Daniel should write a book on how to separate as a gay couple.
I think that'd be really good.
We're still living together.
Yeah.
We've obviously got our tasks in the house and our chores that we do. So he's still cooking for me. I'm still washing his pants.
Yeah.
We are in separate bedrooms, but we're just like, I've said this before, he is one of the best things that ever happened to me. And I'm getting a bit choked up now. I'm not gonna never be friends with him. I'm not gonna let that happen. Daniel come on to Celebs Go Dating with me and was filmed picking out outfits for me to wear, which I think he did stitch me up on one.
Was that the shot when they said you looked like a schoolboy at the bottom and a granddad on the top? Was it that outfit?
No, that monstrosity was my doing.
Oh, was it?
No, one that he set me out in kind of all black and looked a bit like Danny Zuko. But, yeah.
Maybe he's not quite cut the tie.
Yeah, no. So
I think you should do something like, or do something online about it, because it'd be really interesting to read it, because most relationships, by the definition of breaking up, breaks up the normal relationship that you've had of respect and love, because it goes out the window, because normally one person doesn't want it to happen.
Yeah. And obviously I spearheaded the divorce, but we just took a lot of time. The day I told him, we just kind of cancelled everything, went to the shops, bought loads of chocolate and crisps and sweet, everything, and just sat indoors all day, and we just spoke about our whole relationship, when we first met, all the amazing things we've done together, and we just went through it all, and it was really cathartic.
Do you think that you're confident that you'll meet somebody quite quickly? Because it sounds to me like you've done a lot of the work already to get to this point.
Well, I got offered to go on Celebs Go Dating, and I'm not going to lie, I didn't go on there looking for a partner. I went on there for a paycheck.
Absolutely.
Very
Why
honest.
not?
So that wasn't my goal. I'm quite happy to be single. And if someone comes along, someone comes along. Do I think I'll ever find anyone like Daniel again?
I'm not
He's
sure
going to be
why
a
you
hard
split.
one. He's going to be a hard one to beat, because he was really good to me. Yeah, really good to me. Yeah.
And continues to be.
Yeah, and continue. But yeah, he does. But I just
so
feel.
what was lacking for you then? Why are you moving on?
I don't know. I think we both switched off. So, and we stopped working at it. And I also went through quite a lot of trauma over the last year, lost both my parents. And I just thought, I'm 53. I want a new life. I want another go at something else. And I've always switched it up.
Yeah.
In my 20s were all about being in London, partying.
Yeah.
My 30s were about paying my debts off and going travelling. So I spent all my 30s travelling. In my 40s, I met Daniel, and I spent all those married happily and great, completely faithful.
Yeah.
And now my 50s, I don't know, I feel like a bit, I want to do a bit of a Shirley Valentine.
Yeah, and get out there and
get out there and discover something
because
new.
you're still young enough to do those things.
Yeah, and I want to learn, I want to change, I want to develop, and I'm not sure that me and Daniel could have done that together past this point.
I do think when you hit your 50s, you do. I'm not going to be melodramatic and say I think about death, but I do think, what have I got? 15 healthy years.
Yeah.
So how do I want to spend those?
Yeah, exactly. And we had very different ideas of what we want to do in those next 15 years. So, I just want to do a lot more travelling. I've spent a lot of time in India. My mum, before she passed away, she spent a lot of time in India. She spent 6 months there, 6 months here. And she lived like a queen over there, on very little a day.
Yeah.
So, and I don't think Daniel fancied that idea. So,
it's time for you to
more
do
of a
it.
homeboy.
Yeah.
Have you had any friends introduce you or put you in touch with somebody that they think would be a good partner?
Not yet, no. No, one of my friends, Carly, actually, we're going away for her 50th, and she did say, "Oh, someone's coming that I think you might like."
Have you seen the
Springs
photograph?
I
eternal.
haven't, no.
Oh,
no,
what's your first
no.
mistake?
So, no, not yet.
Not
no,
necessarily.
India sounds exciting, though.
yeah, it's. I just love India. When I went there in my it was my 30th birthday, and I kept getting reoccurring tonsillitis, and I got the letter through to have them taken out and on the day of my 30th birthday. And I phoned them up and I went, "Are you joking? Come on, it's my 30th." And they're like, "Well, if you don't come in, you're going back to the back of the queue." So I thought, right, I'll just go. So I went to King's Cross Hospital. I was in there. I thought I'd go in at 2, be out at 4. They ruptured and I was in for like 5 days.
Oh my God.
So I was on the ward thinking, what haven't I done with my life? You know, because I'm in a hospital for
Yeah.
5 days. And I thought, I've never been travelling. And 2 weeks later, I landed at 3 o'clock in the morning in India.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was
wow.
like, shit, what have I done? Because it's, you know, if you've
Yeah.
never been there before, it's
So,
an
like,
assault.
you went on your own as
Yeah.
well. Wow.
Yeah. And it's back then, I don't know if it still is, but all the flights landed early hours of the morning.
Right.
So,
So it was dark.
Yeah. And people are sleeping on the street. And yeah, it's just all.
Sounds like Brighton on Saturday night.
Yeah.
We have a relationship expert, Francine, which I can't believe she's going to have any advice for you because you seem to have processed everything correctly to get to the point that you're
I'll
at.
give her a few tips. You'll have me on next week as the expert.
Yeah. We'll have you back. We'll have you
I
back.
just wanna get, just wanna get out of here.
But this is our expert, as you probably know by now, Francine Kay, relationships expert, the divorce doctor, which is great for Stephen because you're just getting a divorce, aren't you?
Well, we've not even started the process yet.
You haven't even started.
No.
Early
We're sorting
days.
other things out first. We thought there's not really a big rush on that one. We're just going to do a little quick 500 quid over the internet kind of divorce.
If you do it at all.
Yeah. Oh no, we definitely will do it. I'll make sure of
Stephen
that.
was telling us before you came in that it's been a very respectful split, that
Yeah.
they still share the same house, the same roof, but are very encouraging to respect each
Yes,
other's space,
absolutely.
and that's how they're going to move forward, and had a very big, fueled by lots of chocolate, talk about how, splitting up and how it would be. And it seemed like a lot of processing has already been done at the breakup of the relationship.
That's
Can
right.
I just say, the next person that dumps me, can you come round with chocolate and sweeties? Because it will make it much easier for
You'll
me.
get upset every time somebody turns up with some
With
chocolate.
yeah,
now.
you'll have the wrong
Yes, is it? I knew it was going to
association,
happen.
Yeah.
Oh,
Too good
no.
to that.
To do
She's
that with
dumping me.
dignity, to divorce with dignity and to be amicable actually leads to something that I like to call the emotional completion, because divorce is really just about the legal piece of paper and the finances. What's really tender and what's really important is the emotional divorce, because otherwise you're not complete. So you want to really get to that stage where you can say, thank you so much for having me, I've loved it.
Yeah, I think we're there.
Yeah.
We're there. And we still, maybe 5 months ago, one of us would have a wobble and need a bit of a hug and a bit of a cuddle, and we'd have a cry. And so we've kind of supported each other in that. And there was about 5 months ago, I had the wobble and said, I don't know if we're doing the right thing. And in that moment, Daniel could have said, okay, let's give it one more go and be selfish. But he didn't. He went, no, you are making the right decision. You're just having a wobble and we'll get through today. And the next day I woke up and I was like, yeah, I am making the right decision. So
The
he
best
support,
decision,
yeah.
isn't it?
So we kind of supported each other in our wobbles as well.
So for you, coming to the end of it, as you've come to the end of it, this is so interesting for people of a certain age as well, because we're a little bit older. So it isn't necessarily, we've not got we're not young anymore, as young as we were. What's that like for you?
For me, I'm really excited. I'm at an age now where I fully know who I am. I accept how I look, my height, my, everything about me. And so I'm excited. And I just think the next forever, how long is going to be about me. And if someone else comes into that, then that's fine. If not, they don't. So I'm actually just excited for the next chapter of my life. Yeah.
And looking back now in hindsight, because we can be so clever in hindsight, if you would have known what you know now about a year or so ago, do you think that it may not have come to an end?
Oh, well, I do know the answer to that because I knew a lot longer. I was slowly checking out of the marriage. So I kind of knew that. And I was presenting, I thought, behaviour and attitudes maybe towards Daniel that I don't think he was picking up on those cues. So therefore I was left on my own for a while with those, and then had to just be quite blunt and say what exactly was, well, which was I want a divorce.
So you were kind of hoping he was going to catch on.
I was hoping he was going to meet me halfway and say, and I don't know.
So what stopped you when you kind of knew, actually saying, I'm not happy, I don't think this is working for me anymore?
What made me finally do it?
No, what stopped you? You know, you were giving the cues and the clues. See, this is so interesting for people because when people are in relationship together, one person generally says, but I thought that they had an inkling. I thought that they knew. And it seems to have come as such a shock to them. How is it that they didn't know? You know, we weren't having as much sex. We weren't as, you know, we weren't going out that much. Yeah, we weren't doing all of that. And I always wonder, what stopped you from actually saying at the time, or did you not really?
Well, I was 9 times out of 10 when it would come out was when I'd had a few drinks.
Of course.
So then in the morning when Daniel would then say, oh, you said some things last night, then I'd have beer fear and I'd be like,
I never heard of that beer
That's
fear.
great, yeah.
and then try and rein it back in because although I was feeling like that, like I thought the marriage was ending, I didn't want to hurt him. So
That's what we were saying earlier, isn't it?
yeah.
It's a lot of respect.
Yeah. So, and then it just got to a point where I thought I've just got to say it out loud now because now I'm hurting myself.
Yes.
And I felt like I was coming a bit depressed and a bit flat, where I weren't living the life I wanted to live.
Was there more pressure because you had a very famous relationship on television and that was coming to an end as well? You think all these people that love us as a unit and I'm going to be the person that could be seen as splitting it all up, stopping the party.
Yeah, there was a little bit of that pressure because I knew there was going to be media interest in it. So that's why we kept it really quiet for at least 6 months to ourselves. Like not even friends didn't even know.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah. So,
That's a lot of pressure
But
as well.
that gave you time, didn't it?
yeah, exactly.
That actually gave you the time to do the emotional disconnect.
Yeah.
Gently.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And we are still emotionally connected. He only has to look at me and he knows what I'm thinking, sort of thing, or if I'm upset, or so. And he's just we're really good friends and really supportive of one another. It's really nice, actually.
Well, that's a reflection on you as well, then.
Yeah,
That you've
And
had a
him,
partner that could do that. Yeah, well, both ways across.
Yeah. I think that's both of our personalities that have made that work, and both of us for the respect and love for one another.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't take all the credit. He's got to have a bit of it as well.
Absolutely.
But
Yeah.
not as much as me.
Right, old Fishbowl of Truth.
Yeah. Just wanna get out of here.
If you'd like to go first,
Yeah, your story will be
Tanya,
unique.
and you can take one for when it's your turn.
Oh, thank you.
One for you.
Tar. Oh.
For me. Right, what are the questions? Stephen.
If you were on a dating app, what would be your must-haves in a partner?
How interesting.
A pulse. No, what my
What about
must-haves?
what age range? Do they have to live geographically close to you?
Have a good haircut.
Yeah, do they have to have hair? You know, what is
Haircut.
it?
That's
I
really
think
important.
they just have to be, for me, emotional intelligence and being able to display emotion is a big one for me, and being passionate in what you do. If someone's really passionate about their job or their hobby or whatever, I really like that. Yeah.
You're passionate about hairdressing.
No.
Now,
Gogglebox, TV. I mean, what's your passion?
Passionate about life.
I'm passionate about, the great outdoors. I love that and stuff.
Yeah.
So, it doesn't matter what, if it's your job or your hobby or something that you've got a bit of
sparks
passion
you.
for.
Ice skating.
Ice skating. Yeah. So, yeah.
Right, what's your one?
Oh dear. I'm not going to be as witty as Stephen. What's the biggest mistake when you choose a partner?
Go for your pattern.
Not seeing the red flags.
Yeah.
That's
what
the
it
biggest
is.
mistake.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or seeing them and ignoring them.
Yeah.
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 So they go yellow, amber, red. No, I still got to see nothing.
No. See nothing. See nothing.
Do you normally finish your relationship, or are you the one that leaves it to the other person?
Oh.
That's a good one, that. A bit of both, really. But, relationships that are finished for me, you probably want it to continue and then it doesn't for whatever reason. But I was a bit like what you were describing, that you knew you'd emotionally checked out a little bit ahead of the other person realising.
Yeah.
You start to do things that you almost not cause fights, but you want them to start to challenge things. And I've done that. But so a bit of both, really.
I think if you're not the one that's spearheading the separation, I think it's harder.
It's very
So if
painful.
it should have been on the other foot and Daniel was telling me, then I think that would have been more painful.
Yeah.
Rejection,
Even if you know,
rejection.
it's dodgy, and it's had its day.
You've got to get in there quick.
When was the last time a partner bought you flowers? Oh God, well that would have been over 2 years ago, probably about 3, 4, maybe even 5 years ago. Oh, it's terrible, isn't it?
Not really, because,
I buy my own flowers.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, me too, because it's also when did you last have a partner?
Yes,
When did
exactly.
I last have
Very
a partner?
true.
I can't
Yeah,
actually remember.
exactly.
At least a year.
No, I buy my own flowers.
Well, I've learned a lot. I think you... thanks for coming in.
No
but I
worries.
also look forward to seeing you posting some pictures on Instagram from, hopefully, India in the new year.
Yeah.
And if you
let's
do
hope so.
write the book, you've got to come back in.
Yeah, I will. Thanks for
We'd
having
love
me.
to see you
It's a
again.
giggle.
Join us again next time.
I'm suddenly single.
Yeah. Just wanna get out of here. Woke up feeling
So next week, we have the original WAG, reality star and presenter Lizzie Cundy. She's known for her amazing fashion sense, and she opens up about why her marriage broke down to Chelsea and England player Jason, and reveals that there may be a new man on the scene.